shouldn't do this like linebacker pose. I don't know football. I don't know sports. Why am I so like, It's every time. Every time it's like, I take too long of a break and I forget how to be on camera. So I'm just gonna film the intro for this now because I don't think I have a choice. Like, I was supposed to film it yesterday. That was the plan, and plans go awry apparently because I ended up spending almost the entire day out of the house, which was great. I got a lot done. I got my cavities filled, which I'd never gotten done on my adult teeth before, so that was weird. Cavities are really weird. I don't understand how we've evolved and allowed that to happen. Like, how has God failed us in this way? How has science failed us in this way? It is currently Tuesday, March 22nd. It's around 2 p.m., so I'm already running a little bit behind schedule. What schedule, you may ask? Well, I'm about to tell you. Oh, my energy is all over the place today. So basically, I had this like weird idea. I wanted to do another writing vlog and I just wasn't super motivated. I don't have a writing schedule that I adhere to typically because I have ADHD. I had this idea to basically take the week of my spring break, so that's currently what's happening. I'm on spring break, and basically have each of my friends, not each of my friends, but a handful of my friends come up with writing schedules for me to follow each day of spring break. So a couple of like obstacles, I guess, that I ran into was I got a lot less time off than I expected to this spring break. Like, yeah, I don't have class, but I still work and volunteer and that sort of thing, so I just don't have as many full days off as I'd like to. I have one full day off. It's on Wednesday. The other little kink in my plan was I forgot to tell my friends this, so I'm just sort of like adapting the schedules as I need to. But basically the idea is that I'm going to follow these schedules that specifically my friends who aren't writers set for me, and one, it was really funny to see how they think I spend a day or like what they think I prioritize in a day. Two, some of these are wildly challenging actually, like they're gonna be difficult, but I'm hoping to get a good amount of words done. Three, yeah, it's a fun little, it's a gimmick for the vlog. I haven't done a vlog in a while and I've been wanting to, and yeah, let's get it going. So today I'm following my friend Linda's vlog. I used to live with her, so she has a pretty good idea of what my schedule usually looks like, and I am already late. The first item on this agenda is 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is go to work because I had a shift. 1 p.m. is lunch. I didn't eat lunch, and then it was supposed to be 2 to 7 right on the couch with the windows drawn and open. No heated blanket allowed. That shouldn't be an issue. It's really hot today actually, so haha. And I get to have a drink nearby. That's my choice, so that's good. So to adapt the schedule, basically like I just ended up getting off work a lot, not later, but I got home from work kind of late and then I had to like get ready and stuff. So I'll eat right now, probably until around like 2:45, 3, and then I'll get started on actually writing on the couch. I have a couch and I also set up like a little nook next to my bookshelf, so I'll like alternate between the two. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, so Linda had some specific requirements for what I was supposed to eat, but I can't eat any of what she told me to because I'm actually vegan now, and I think I forgot to tell her. But I made myself like a quick little breakfast sandwich, basically with like vegan cheese and breakfast sausage, I want to say. And I'm just gonna have these like slightly old cherry tomatoes and some hummus and an extra cup of coffee and some green juice, and that'll probably get me through most of today. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat real quick, and then I can get started on writing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I ate a ton of food, so I've got all that energy, kind of. Basically, the schedule for the rest of the day that Linda has set for me is to just write until dinner time. It is currently 3:10. So basically what's going to happen is I'm probably just going to keep writing until like 6:30, 7, and then once that sort of wraps up, I'll do a breakdown of how much I was able to accomplish. This doesn't give me any room for breaks, so I'm not going to take breaks. I'll take breaks to like do necessary things like refill my drink or pee. Other than that, I'm just going to keep going and like power through. I think that's sort of the goal for this one, which is a little bit scary, but I'll get there. And again, I'm supposed to open the windows, not really have blankets, and then just stay on the couch. So I'm gonna switch between the couch and my nook. And yeah, let's not waste any more time and get started. So I did forget to mention one thing, which is what I'm actually going to be working on today. I am currently working on my adult dark academia fantasy that's like a murder mystery set in fake alchemy grad school in Paris. So that is most likely going to be my Camp Nano April project. So I've been wanting to basically start over. I have a pretty good idea of the plot trajectory. For some reason, the ending is like really solid in my head, but the opening has gotten a little shaky. Like, I wrote quite a bit of Act 1 and realized it was super boring and I wasn't happy with it at all. So I have to revisit that. I did some outlining. I changed a couple things that I hope will strengthen it, but also require like a total rewrite of those pages. So I'm going to be working on that and see where I get. The other thing is I just got Scrivener like as a gift. I don't know how to use it. I'm not the best with technology to begin with, and Scrivener is like, it's hard to use, so I've sort of been trying to figure out how to like work that into my process. Yeah, we'll see how that goes though, because I don't want to spend too much time like working out the details on Scrivener when I could just be like writing in my but it's a shame, you know. It's like it feels wasteful just because it was a gift and it's not the cheapest program. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it is like very, very reasonable, but it's like still money, you know. Money went into this, so I will sort of be drafting on Scrivener. I already started like redoing my opening pages on there, so I might as well finish up on there, and then I'll see if I want to switch back to Docs, Word, Microsoft Word. But yeah, that's sort of where I'm going to be starting out today. The thing is, I am currently drafting multiple books because I'm me, and I'm also sort of debating on cheating on my Dark Academia book for Nano, so I don't think I'll be working on moths for the entire duration of this week, but for today, that's what I'm going to try to focus on. Okay, it is currently 5:05. I've been writing for probably like a little over an hour and a half. So far in this session, I've got 1,124 words down, which is not that bad. Honestly, not that bad. I could feel the words flowing, and the scene is definitely coming together a lot better than it was. It's got a lot more forward momentum, and there's not quite as much like explainy stuff. I'm pretty happy with what I've accomplished today. The only thing is I realized that I sort of like need to go to the gym. I had to go home like to my parents' house for a couple days over the weekend, so I just didn't have access to the gym. And I would really like to go to the frickin' gym. I'm gonna write a little bit longer, but since I feel like I've accomplished sort of what I wanted to get done, like for the day, I don't necessarily need to stick to the schedule. Sorry, Linda. Yeah, this whole week is going to be like this, so I'm just making little compromises and kind of just ultimately doing what I want to do. I'm leaning forward a lot, so let me just back up a little, give y'all some personal space. This draft of the opening scene, again, yeah, a lot more forward momentum. I'm also getting a better sense of place. This book is set in Paris, where I lived for a year. It was the first place I lived as an adult. And I lived there when I was 18. I'm no longer 18. It's been kind of a while. So I was like not remembering which metro lines went where. Couldn't remember the names of stops. So I had to do a little bit of like Googling and looking at Google Maps to just sort of refresh myself. But it was good. Like I just sort of like not filled in those details in the first round. But I think filling in those details sort of helps, like, at least it helps ground me, because I'm like, oh, this is a place that I'm familiar with, that's a stop I'm familiar with. It's like the little things. And it's interesting because a lot of the times my books are not set in places that exist. So it's cool to be able to like reference a living, breathing city and like get to fill in the details based on that and like my experiences and what the city is actually like instead of like made up shit. I'm definitely going to keep toying with that and figuring out like different ways I can incorporate the actual setting, if that makes sense. So I guess this is kind of it. I'll see you guys tomorrow for our next schedule, which I'm already nervous for. Tomorrow's my only like full day off, and I'm gonna try to be a little bit stricter about like actually adhering to the schedule, because I think not starting off on the right foot, honestly, not getting that like time in the morning to write and get everything sort of figured out, like that's really, it just really sets the tone for the whole day. So because I had to go to work this morning and I got a late start, I just don't feel super like pressed to be spending a huge chunk of my free time writing. So I hope this is forgivable. But tomorrow we're getting fucking serious. So it looks like it's going to be pretty warm out today. I'm gonna dress accordingly. Okay, so good morning. It is officially the start of day 2, so it is Wednesday, March 23rd. And I have another schedule lined up for today, of course. This is my friend Vincent's schedule. He's not really given me timestamps, no word counts. He's basically just given me a list of things to accomplish. So step 1 was to wake up naturally, so I didn't set any alarms the night before. I woke up like just before 8, so I have around 6 hours of sleep in the tank right now, which is, you know, that's doable, that's fine. Oh shoot, it said meditate / yoga / stretches for 15 minutes. Okay, I'll do that in a second. And then I have to get breakfast at a coffee shop, or a place that I'm willing to stay at for a while. I have a coffee shop that I like to go to, but they don't really have that many robust breakfast options, and I'm pretty hungry, so I think I'm gonna stop by a bakery that I like and then take all my stuff down to that coffee shop. After that, I'm supposed to sit down and write, but if I get writer's block, or every hour, whichever comes first, I'm supposed to stop, take a 5-minute break, and people watch. So I have a really good like location in mind for that, so that kind of works out perfectly. It'll be lunchtime, which I'll find something to eat. I'll assess what I've written, and then I can do something for 2 to 3 hours, which I've made plans with a friend, so I'm gonna do that. And then he says I should create a storyboard / timeline / whatever you do for rough drafts for the next day, which I don't really do anything specific to prepare for my next day of writing, because most of my writing days are not consecutive anymore, and also they're not very structured to begin with, so that should really be interesting. I think I will try to do that and like set up for the next day, which will be Danny's schedule. Tomorrow, unfortunately, I do work a 9 to 1, so again, it's gonna be another like weird thing where I have to like work the schedule to fit my needs. But this seems like a really interesting set of things to do, so I'm gonna do that meditation exercise, and then let's get started. Okay, I got my food, so now I'm gonna head over to the coffee place where I'm gonna just sit and write for a little while. It is called Dart Coffee Roasters or something like that, you know, one of those, it's called Dart, and they have a really nice outdoor area last time I checked, so I'm gonna go ahead and park there, so it'll not be too crowded. It shouldn't be, it's a Wednesday. Oh, I love talking to myself in a spooky, poorly lit parking structure alone. Made it safely. I'm gonna walk over to Dart, which is like 15 minutes from where I just parked. And yeah, I'm just gonna order some tea because I don't really feel like coffee this morning, and get started. I'm just gonna do this again because honestly I'm way too lazy to get my microphone out and set it up. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick little update as to how my day has gone so far. I just got back from the outside world, which was really nice. It was like the perfect weather, sun was out. Yeah, I had a really nice time actually being outside, so I'm glad that my friend told me to do that. Currently it's around 1 p.m. so I'm going to go ahead and eat lunch, and then after this I get a couple hours of free time, so I'm gonna, you know, do something else. But so far I have gotten a really good amount of work done. So I was able to write at the little cafe that you guys saw in their garden area, which I love. That's one of my favorite places to get some work done in Santa Barbara. And I was also just like kind of bored, so I went down to the beach really quickly and spent not a super long amount of time, but a little bit of time writing there as well. So all in all, I actually hit around 1,100 words. My target was 1,500 for the day, so I'm gonna like try to meet that by the end of the day. I hope to get a little bit more writing done. For the rest of the day, I'm supposed to assess what I've written and then like create a storyboard or timeline, basically plan for tomorrow's writing, which is a really good idea. I'd never thought to incorporate like planning for the next day. So I'm gonna give that a whirl. But I'm also going to just try to hit that 1,500 goal for the day, 1,500 word goal for the day. Grammar is so hard lately. But yeah, I've been at it for most of the day. I've also been like walking around quite a bit, so I'm gonna take a little breather, wash my hair because there's so much sand in it. I wasn't like, you know, going into the water or really doing that much in the sand, but the wind kicked up so much sand in my hair. I can feel it. It's like gritty. So I'm gonna like get that out of me somehow and then just do my thing for the rest of the day. So that's my little update. I did sort of want to consider working on a different project for today, but I am still working on my dark academia book. So that's been going well. I'm still essentially just rewriting the scenes that I was writing before and doing them on Scrivener, which has been interesting so far. I think it's gonna be conducive to helping me like reorganize everything once I'm done writing these snippets, but right now, right now it's a little bit of a challenge to just sort of like reorient my mind to function in this way. So for tomorrow I might just switch back to good old Microsoft Word, and I might work on something else. It sort of depends. But right now I'm kind of, you know, I'm vibing with this novel. Sometimes I really don't vibe with it, so it's like, it's good to feel the words flowing and like actually feel like I'm getting somewhere for once. So that is my update, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. That's better. It kind of looks like I'm in a play, which I don't hate, so let's go ahead and go with that. So I am back home. It's around 8 p.m., so I'm doing my little evening cool down like Vincent's schedule told me to do. I'm going to start doing my timeline for tomorrow, basically creating a little schedule for myself for the next day of writing. But for now, just to get some things out of the way, I think I'm going to film a quick video for something else. So then ultimately my goal is to, after I wash up and everything, I'm going to basically lay in bed, write my schedule, and then pass the fuck out. So that's going to be the rest of today. Overall thoughts about today, I really like that I was able to go outside, get a change of pace. I think it was conducive to put myself in a different environment as opposed to just sitting where I normally sit and writing like just in comparison to yesterday, I did get a lot more words done, but it has to be noted that I had more of a complete day because yesterday I had to work and then I had to like set up and all that, so it took a little bit more time, and today I was able to just sort of like jump right into it from the get-go and I wasn't tired from my shift. So that definitely helped. I'm interested to see what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow will be Thursday's schedule. There isn't a schedule for Friday because I do work a 9 to 5 that day, but there is one for Saturday. I work a 9 to 12 on Saturday, so it'll be sort of the rest of the day. Although there is some like early morning stuff that I'm gonna attempt to do, but we'll get there when we get there. And that's pretty much it for today. My stats, when it all came down to it, I finished with, I might write a little bit more, but right now I have 1,000. I still have 1,100 words because like I went out and wasn't writing anymore after my last update, so I'm hoping to hit 1,500 before I turn in for the night, but it's not a big deal if I don't. I feel like I did accomplish a lot today. What I do want to do is take a little bit more time to go over what I've written and start organizing everything, because it sort of drives me nuts that my Scrivener files or whatever aren't like super organized at the moment. So yeah, I'm gonna start to like weave things together. I don't know if I like Scrivener's scene by scene feature yet. I think it is handy for when like I start to tackle structural revision, so I can just sort of visualize what things go where. But I think the fact that I'm currently writing my entire scenes on those scene cards, and they are complete scenes, and they can't really flow into the next one so seamlessly because they're not all in the same document, if that makes sense. That sort of bothers me, so I might figure out a different way to do it. So yeah, that's pretty much the day. I'm going to go ahead and film my little video, which is going to be all the books that I read in January, February, and March. And yeah, do everything else. I really need to clean my place. It's super gross right now, and I'm starting to feel the shame a little bit. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So I have to run off to work real quick, but I just wanted to show you guys how foggy it is. It's not even showing up that well on camera, but this is perfect writing weather. I really hope it sticks around. It's like almost 2:30 on Thursday. I basically just got off a 9 to 1 shift, and today I'm doing my friend Danny's schedule, and I've already kind of like messed up a lot. Today was one of those days where I had a work shift in the morning and the person who was making my schedule for the day just didn't know because I forgot to tell them. Technically speaking, I was supposed to start my day off with like a cup of tea and a big breakfast. No, I don't do that on work days. It's a lucky thing if I eat like a granola bar and have some coffee. So unfortunately I didn't get to start off my day the good way, but I had a pretty chill shift at work, and I did finish setting up sort of my plan for what today's writing is going to be. In this modified schedule, I'm about to head out, get some lunch, and I'm going to sit outside and write until I hit 3,000 words, something like that. And this will be using my little plan that I set up the night before with Vincent's schedule. The thing about today is I don't want to be working on mods. It's not that I'm sick of it, I just like kind of want to change of pace, so I guess you could say I'm kind of sick of it. Instead, I'm going to be working on my young adult fantasy and just trying to like get some words in. That one tends to be a lot easier for me to do high volume writing very fast because I don't have to think so hard about like any of it, because it's one, not as like serious of a project just in terms of content matter, and two, the voice is a little bit more familiar to me because I've written a good amount of young adult fantasy. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day. I have to come back and like clean my apartment. That's actually on the schedule, so thank you, Danny, for thinking of giving me time to clean my apartment. I'm going to listen to an audiobook while I do that. That's part of their little recommendation list. Yeah, I am making dinner and like socializing tonight, so I have to like kind of condense this more than I'd like to. I don't know why I've decided to have like a social thing every day of the week so far. I don't have friends here, and usually during vacation times I'm the only person left in my college town, so like I don't understand what's happening. So yeah, that's gonna be the rest of the day. I'm running behind, so I better get a move on. So I'm back with a little update. It is 5:30 p.m. and I'm wrapping up for the day, I'm not gonna lie. So the rest of the schedule says to spend my day or spend some time cleaning up the apartment and either reading or calling people while I do so. Probably gonna listen to an audiobook because I have a lot of cleaning to do and I want to fully focus on that. So yes, I'm so glad that I get to clean. I really need to. I know I keep saying it, but you're not seeing what I'm seeing. It's just disgusting in here. I hate it so much. It says that I can write more in this time, and I might, but it can't be the last thing that I do for the day. I have to do a different creative activity before I turn in. That's most likely going to be bullet journaling, so I'm going to fill in some of that. I really need to set up my bullet journal for next quarter because I need it to schedule my life and write down assignments and that sort of thing. So I'm gonna be just sort of putting that together. As for today, I did get like quite a bit done. My final word count, as you just saw, was around like 1,800, close to 2,000. I didn't hit the 3,000 word mark that Danny asked me to, but it's like not going to happen just because one, the restaurant or cafe I was at, it felt a little weird after a while. Like my pasta was getting cold and I was eating it really slowly, so I'd have an excuse to be there for a long period of time. But eventually I was kind of like the only one there, and I could tell the workers were like waiting for me to go, so I left. And then I just got home and wrote a little bit extra. Yeah, just given the time constraints of the day, I didn't really think it'd be possible to film or to write 3,000. Like I could under normal circumstances, but the funny thing is, I ended up working on the sort of rough draft for a young adult contemporary fantasy that has been rolling around in my brain for a little while. This is a top secret project. It's actually different from the other young adult fantasy that I said I was going to work on. For some reason, I just felt like inspired to work on it today. But yes, this book is one of those potential NaNoWriMo projects. Honestly, it would be in my best interest if I didn't work on this, but it's kind of also like the muse strikes when it strikes. I'm not on deadline or anything. I can sort of do what I want. I just really want to finish a book. So whichever one of these gets finished first, that'll be the one that I focus on moving forward, essentially. I think I've sort of accepted that. But yeah, working on a different story for a little bit of the day was really refreshing, so I'm glad that I sort of just did that and didn't force myself to write the book that I've been struggling to get words out for, again, for another day. That's pretty much it for the day. I'm going to do, like my cleaning. I'm not going to film that. And then my creative stuff at the end of the day, I'll do a little bit of filming for. Tomorrow I do work a 9 to 5, so I won't be vlogging, unfortunately. It's been kind of an interesting week for me, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this all wraps up and how everything compares in the end. Okay, so bye for now. I'll update you guys later. So it is officially Saturday, March 26th. This is the last day of this vlog series. I am going to do my last schedule and then sort of wrap things up toward the end with an outro, as well as a review of everything that I've accomplished and learned so far, and sort of a breakdown of how each schedule went for me and what I've learned, because I think I've learned a couple of things. Maybe, I don't know. Today's schedule is courtesy of my friend MJ, and she basically just gave me a series of rules to follow instead of a set schedule. So the first rule is no longer relevant, but the second rule was to wake up at 6:30 and watch the sunrise, which I attempted to do. I kind of rolled out of bed at like 6:45, 7, but it was so foggy this morning that you couldn't really see anything. So I gave it my best shot, but it didn't end up happening. But I'm also supposed to go out and look at the sunset, which is around 6:45, 7 p.m. today. Basically, my agenda for today is to write around 4,000 words before sunset. And that should be kind of interesting. It is 2:27 right now, so I kind of have to get the ball rolling. I did get off work at noon, and then I had some things to take care of, so I'm running a little late, as per usual. That has been the theme of this week, is I cannot keep to a schedule to save my life. So yeah, 4,000 words of writing, and then I'm supposed to relax without screens. I'll probably read a book or work on my bullet journal, get some scheduling done, maybe do some planning for tomorrow. That's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'll also fix myself something to eat, because I haven't really had a meal today, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so my lunch is basically going to be the leftover miso soup I made from scratch a couple nights ago for dinner. This enormous salad I know I can't finish, but I'm going to eat a good chunk of it. And then my green juice, and I've got cinnamon rolls still baking. Wait, where the fuck is the sun? Hold on. It cleared up earlier. I don't understand. I'll find it, I'll find it. And with that, I'm back. Yeah, so unfortunately I didn't get to watch the sunset like my schedule told me I had to, but you know, I went to the beach, I looked around, saw some people smoking some weed, so it was all in all pretty good. I still had time to reflect a little, which was basically the point of that whole exercise. She basically wanted me to think about if later in the day, or this portion of the day, felt different from how the morning did, and if any parts made me feel particularly energized. Again, I didn't really have the morning for this, which sucks. When I was up this morning, I was really tired, but then, you know, going to work kind of woke me up a little bit because I was able to get stuff done, and I would say that overall, I do feel pretty energized right now. Like, I think I pick up steam through the day as I get more done personally, but it's really that sort of like getting the momentum to actually start that tends to be a little bit more difficult for me. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm done with the schedules. I'm done with my week. Tomorrow I volunteer, so I'm never really done, but you know, in terms of this vlog, I am all set to go. What I wanted to do was just sort of go over how I felt about everything, like how each schedule felt, what I thought were some obstacles. Obviously, I ran into a lot of trouble with like not being able to adhere to the schedules just because my personal life got in the way of everything all the time. My thought was I would really like to try this again when I'm not as busy. Like, I'm hoping to take like some type of vacation this year. I'm planning to do like 2 to 3 weeks somewhere totally new, and I think it'd be really interesting to have people set up schedules for me. That also includes like different parts of that place that either they know personally or they want me to check out for them, that sort of thing. I don't know if that made sense, but sort of like a combo travel writing, like schedule setting thing. So yeah, basically my plan is to eventually spend a couple weeks, long-ish term, in one place for a little bit and just have that extended period of time to write and do this again, hopefully. Because I thought it was a pretty fun exercise. I think it's always interesting to see how people sort of view what a writer's schedule should be like or what productivity is for a writer. For example, like MJ saying that she wanted me to get 4,000 words done today. I feel like that would have been possible if I had the whole day, but as it stands, I only got half of that complete. A little over half, you know, not to toot my own horn. I only got 2,000 words done today as opposed to 4,000, which for me, 4,000 words in a day, that's like a lot. Like that's, I've done it before, I can do it, but I know those words aren't necessarily going to be of quality, so I would want time to revise and look over. By the way, this isn't like a criticism of my friends at all and their choices. I just thought it was a really interesting thing to see sort of like what things people miss out on, what's important to me when I have a sit down and write day or a scheduled writing day. Yeah, because not a lot of these really gave me time to look over what I'd written, which is a huge part of writing for me. I'm definitely the sort of person who revises as they draft. I'm definitely the sort of person who goes back and reads everything over 1,000 times as I'm writing it, for better or for worse. It does slow me down, but I feel like as a result, like my constant feedback is that I have really clean first drafts. And I do, because they're not even really first drafts because I've revised that one sentence or cluster of sentences like 500 times before I'm even done writing the chapter for the first time. Yeah, it was interesting to not do that because I was really pushing myself to just get the words out for a lot of these and hit those word count goals, write without looking back, that sort of thing. A lot of these also wanted me to wake up early in the morning, which I don't really do on work days. I'm definitely the kind of person who, if I have a morning shift, which is always, I just sort of roll out of bed and go. I don't try to get work done in the morning because I know once I get my groove going, it's going to be really annoying to stop and go to work. So I've never been the type of person to wake up at 6 a.m. on a day that I have work and like eat a big breakfast and write while I'm like eating, which is something I want to try, but I just know that like breaking up my writing time with work or school is just, it's always such a bummer and I can never find that spark again and it's hard to return to the correct mindset the same day. So yeah, I'd rather like have the opportunity to write late into the night as opposed to, yeah, waking up in the morning and getting things done in the early hours of dawn. I think one takeaway I will say that I really like didn't expect from this was in Vincent's schedule on, I want to say Wednesday. I really liked that he gave me the task of like planning out what I wanted to write the next day. I feel like that's even more productive for me than like coming up with an hour by hour schedule. Just sort of mapping out what the next day will bring for me, because I definitely have a lot of trouble staying on task when it comes to drafting. It is really hard. I think that's why I tend to like revising more, because it's a much more linear process, because everything's already laid out in front of you. But when I'm drafting, even though I am an outliner and I work with a very like structured outline, I tend to jump around a lot, which is also kind of why Scrivener hasn't really been working for me this week, which is super fucking annoying because I know how expensive that shit was, so I want to be able to use it, but I think it might be a better revising tool than a drafting tool. So I might end up just transferring everything I drafted in Scrivener over to Word, which again is irritating because I also really liked the word count target and like word progress option. That was really helpful to keep track of everything. And I really like that they had an option for sessions instead of just overall word count, so you can really see how much you've been getting done that day. But yes, Vincent's little day before planning session might be something that I incorporate into my writing more often. I didn't really do it as thoroughly as I could have just because I got really busy that evening. I don't even think I filmed that section, but I just sort of like typed up a quick little rundown of what I wanted to get done the next day, and not even a to-do list, just like, oh, I want to do this scene and I want to fix this part of that chapter that I just wrote, that sort of thing. I guess that is a to-do list. It was also like part brainstorming because the story that I ended up working on for the last half of the week is one that doesn't actually have a full outline associated with it. It just sort of has a bare bones outline. So I'm still coming up with a lot of the scenes, and I am experimenting a little bit because I want to try discovery drafting, which is something I have done before, but it's difficult because it makes revising just a lot harder and more complicated than I personally think it needs to be. This project that I refuse to speak about other than it is a young adult contemporary / urban fantasy, I think it does require a little bit of discovery on my part for sure. Okay, so yeah, just looking at my stats, it looks like I wrote around 2,400 words in Moths and then around 4,500 words in the Secret Project. Overall, that is around 7,000 words. Not quite there, but almost there. That's really cool. For a week where I was working so much, I worked a full shift yesterday even, like it's really cool to me that I was able to get that much done. So I guess consistency is key, but who needs that? So that about wraps up this video. I am going to go eat some dinner because I'm freaking starving. Technically, MJ is having me not do any screen time for the rest of the night, and sorry MJ, but I need to like relax and unwind with some HBO Max. But yeah, thank you so much for following along with me on this little journey / experiment of mine. Thank you to all my friends who made schedules for me. Mwah. Love you guys so much, and I will be forcing you to do this again at some point, so keep an eye out for that. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!